Hello, everybody. So, I'm gonna make a video. I feel and I look a lot better from yesterday, and I feel a lot better. I was dealing with a lot of things yesterday, which I will make another video. Not necessarily today, but I will make another video about it. I was dealing with. Didn't think that this was a crime, but I was dealing with something called cyber stalking. Somebody, an ex of mine, was stalking me and was logging in my Facebook and saying some terrible things about me. I guess I don't know because the person wants me back or they miss me. I don't know, but basically, I had to get the Facebook and authorities involved, and this person is going to be doing some time for it. I really didn't want that to happen. I've offered the person to be truthful about it. They don't want to respond. I guess they calling my bluff, but I guess they're gonna take it seriously when it happens. Okay, so anyways, past is past. So I did do a Facebook live on this particular subject. I got a lot of people laughing, and they said, "Definitely, Kevin, you should do this post." So my post today, my video is gonna be about single fathers, and I am a single father. I've been raising my daughter on my own since she was 1 years old. Um, she's gonna be 10 in November. Um, the journey as a single father is rough. Really is. I, I mean, a lot of people, a lot of fathers out there, they're like, "Oh well, I'm a father, and yeah, I've been there and helped my wife." Yeah, it's cool. You know what I mean? I commend you. No one's saying that I mean you're a bad father just because you're not a single father. I commend those who are actually true fathers to their children. Um, and I got a lot of single fathers out there who are like, well, I haven't really done what you done, but I mean, does make me a single father and good single father. Everybody looks at themselves as a single father or a good single father at that point. I mean, based on how they interact with a child and how what they did to accomplish it. Most single fathers usually, in the most case, they get their kids on the weekends. You know what I mean? I've been with my daughter 24/7 since the day I had her. For that 1 year that I had her, me and my ex-wife, we were together, but I was dealing with my own demons. I was recovering from injury in Iraq, and also dealing with the divorce, and yeah, it was bad. So, what defines a single father? You know what I mean? You know, honestly, you know what I mean? It's a universal thing, you know what I mean? But let me tell you my experience as a single father. Um, when my daughter was younger, I was experiencing going to college for my art degree, and also later on, then I went in for my civil engineering degree. Um, not only was I battling that and to being a father, but I was also tattooing. So waking up early in the morning, bringing my daughter to my mother to take care of her, come visit her for a couple hours and do the fatherly duties and go to work and come back. It was rough, but at the same time, what I mean, at the end of the day, when it was time for me to go home, I picked my daughter up. We went back home. I gave her a bath. I fed her. Did all that stuff, and it had its funny moments. Like for instance, what I mean. Every guy, every guy. There's some guys that are just more obnoxious about it, but there's some guys that are like, oh well, pussy's pussy and females blah 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 blah. And well, honestly, me having my daughter, I don't look at vagina the same. You know what I mean? I really don't. Just because the simple fact that at the end of the day, when I look at a woman or I even think relations with this woman, you know what I mean? I got to think about, okay, am I doing this wrong? I'm doing this right because at the end of the day, what I want karma to come back to me and want a man to treat my daughter the same way. And what I mean, me growing up, I always believed that don't treat a woman how I want my mother or my sister to be treated. But when you have a daughter, it's even worse. So Yeah, it's bad. Um, but also it helps you who you are as a person, how you perceive things, how you perceive relationships. Um, uh, there was one experience. A lot of people were like, "Well, if you raise your daughter on your own, how did you manage to potty train?" And this is the funny part about it. You know what I mean? Basically, what happened was when it came time to potty train my daughter. Yes, my mother to an extent did help me, but when I had her, I had this technique where I would right before I would bring my daughter to the bathroom and take my pants off, and you know what I mean, I would I would tuck my wiener in, and I would sit down on the toilet like a little girl, have my legs closed, and you know what I mean, just talk to her and say, okay, this is how you tinkle, and then I would tell Aubrey to get out the bathroom and then adjust and stuff like that, Yeah. And then and then as she got older, that's when we started explaining to her about wiping down, don't wipe from bottom up, you wipe down, and yeah, and then about 2.5 weeks ago, my daughter became a woman. Yes, very early, and so I was batshit crazy. I didn't know what to do, and I pulled myself together and got the Midol, got the heating pad, and got the pads. You know what I mean? And between me and my mother and friends, you know what I mean, family members, we talked to her about womanhood. So it's an ongoing battle, and you know what I mean. It's not necessarily anything negative. It just means that you know what I mean. My daughter is gonna start becoming a woman, and she's already developing, and you know what I mean. She's a tomboy now, but she might start wanting to do makeup, and like I was saying in my video, you know what I mean. Most women they're very ooh, yeah, and um, me being an art major and me discovering all different types of arts around. I think hair and makeup is an art, and um, my mother was a hairstylist, and I know a little bit about hair. You know, what I mean, especially about coloring, and I'm learning through one of uh, my brother's wife. You know, what I mean, Allison Boutte, which is a hairstylist, wonderful hairstylist, by the way. But you know, what I mean, I do continue to learn. Even when I was in Louisiana, I was learning with paying attention and looking how Ricky Zito did it. You know, what I mean, he owns a good color called Pop Riot. Also, like I got in my hair right now. I don't know if you can see it. See, that's nasty. But the blues I got in my hair, that is from Pulp Riot. Um, I wanted to use a similar color by Joico. Um, uh, but what I mean, anything like to do with hair, like Pravana and Paul Mitchell, Joico. You know what I mean, I've have knowledge in it. Same thing as makeup. Females, don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. That doesn't make me gay, but I do know a lot about makeup. You know what I mean? Anything from Anastasia to Becca to Morphe to Tarte to Kat Von D to Urban Decay. That doesn't mean, it just means I have a feminine side, and I just like the art of makeup. You know what I mean? Um, I think some of you ladies kind of confuse yourself with inner beauty more than outer beauty. I think sometimes you girls kind of overdo it, but whatever makes you feel good inside, whatever makes you feel happy about yourself, of doing that. Um, I've dealt with an ex that what I mean kind of made her exterior look more presentable than her interior, and the person just ended up being completely a shitty person, and sometimes I feel that people judge the exterior more than the interior, so I was too blind to see that at the time, but yeah, so those are my thoughts of being about a single father. I love every minute of it. You know what I mean? Me and my daughter go on dinner dates together, like me and her. Last night we went to Okinawa. Is a hibachi restaurant. It was pretty awesome. But yeah, I don't like to pawn my daughter off as a puppy that you can bring around with ooh, new chicks. You know what I'm saying? I don't. She's a human being. Some fathers do that, but she is a human being, and my daughter kind of is my mom away from mom. Not necessarily saying I'm mom's boy, but what I mean. If she sees a girl that maybe she doesn't have a sense that she could be a good girl, or what I mean, my daughter, she would nudge me. She's like, no. I was like, okay. So we're best friends, and yeah, I do know the separation of being a parent and being a good friend. Um, Me and my daughter will have grown-up conversations, and not necessarily about anything we're not supposed to be talking about, but like about life and what you have to do when you get older, and what, you know. And so I'd rather give her that knowledge and that experience and that wisdom to where when she gets older, she can say, you know, my dad taught me a lot about life and, you know, the cruel world once you get older. Everybody knows that once you get older, it's not fun and games when you make adulthood. But I I would like to get more into this with the single father and how I feel about it. You know, it's a wonderful gift, and I look to many years to look forward to. You know, walking her down the aisle, getting her ready for prom, and teaching her about makeup and stuff like that. So, um, you know, that's probably more I will talk about in another segment. I try to keep my videos less than 15 minutes because I don't want my it to fail because I notice that it kind of fails if I take too long. But thank you guys for watching. Please share my videos. And again, as my final disclosure, me making these videos, I suffer from PTSD, and it helps me cope with what I have and what's going through with my life, and you know what I mean, my experiences in life. And I feel that if I share that with you guys are like, oh, okay, cool, you know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that I just want to talk about me. I also want to listen about you guys. If you add me on Facebook, add me, or, you know, probably sure 90% of you guys that have, you know, saw my videos has been linked because it was shared on the Facebook. But y'all add me as a friend. You know, I already made everything public so you guys can add me. Any questions, any topics that you guys want to talk about, you know what I mean, I'll be glad to talk about it. You know, I can't promise you it's going to be the best advice, the best knowledge, but it's good to the community to share, and I'd be glad to do that, you know what I mean, and I want to be there for you just as much as y'all listening and being there for me. So, yeah, again, share and post, man. Thank you, I appreciate it, guys. Love you guys. Bye.